going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream, and happy Wednesday, people. I didn't even know what day it was there. Happy Wednesday, people. A few days until Arsenal are back, and on one hand, I'm looking forward to it because, you know, Curtis Shaw derby, Arsenal against Forest. And it's always good to see Arsenal back, but then on the other hand, I remember what was happening before the international break, and part of me doesn't want them to come back. But nah, for real, they're back. No international break until March. Let's get down to business, man. It's crunch time. I was on Supporters Club yesterday with Chris Hudson and Turkish. Big up to them too. We had some honest conversation, man, you know, and it's not what everybody wants to hear, but it's the reality of the situation, people. We're in a situation now where it is crunch time, and people go, it's only November. Listen, you can't win a title in November, but you can lose a title in November. Let's get one thing abundantly clear. Nobody's ever won a league title in November. We always say, nah, you got to win more games. But you can lose a title in November. People have this thing that, oh, there's so many games we can just bring it back. Not unless we start playing proper football, start scoring goals. Not unless we go into the transfer market and act like a serious football club in January. If those things don't happen, it won't happen. We've been in a two-horse race for the last 2 years and haven't been able to get past Manchester City. We've still got to get past Manchester City and get past Liverpool. And we've got a points tally to catch up on. Things have to change quickly. And I'll be honest, we've got Forest at home this weekend. I'm not even overly confident of picking up 3 points. I think we will, but it's not a guarantee. That's for sure. You know, it's a very tough game. That's a tough game. We're going to have to go on a run, and we're going to have to win a number of games in a row just to claw it back. The good thing is Manchester City play Liverpool in the next few weeks. City have got Tottenham this weekend. I'm not really clinging to that. It's at the Etihad. I think Tottenham will get beat there. I think they're too open at the back. I think City will score goals against them. But obviously when City and Liverpool play each other, that's a weekend for us to try and make up some points. So, you know, we were talking and people saying off camera yesterday, yeah, we need to win 8-9 games in a row. I said, bro, win one game of football first. Use that as the building block, you know. Win one game and go from there. I can't even think about the next 8 or 9 games. Just beat Forest and then let's go from there. But listen, big up to everyone locked in. I hope you're well. Hit the like button. Subscribe as well if you haven't already. Let's get these numbers up. We're going to have a few things going off on the channel as we approach December. Going to do a couple giveaways to the community. Want to try and drive the numbers up and push towards 100k by the end of the season. Maybe we can get 90k by Christmas at least. But listen, a few things to talk about today. In fact, there's quite a lot to talk about today. I'm going to start with the These things relate to Arsenal, but they're not people who are actually at Arsenal at the moment. But I just want to know your thoughts and opinions on these things quickly, people. He's taken over from Daily Dusan. It's now Daily Victor. That guy again, Victor Gyökeres, as Sweden won by 6-0 against Azerbaijan, I think it was. Now, I get it. Most people will be thinking, Azerbaijan, you know what, we could probably put a team together in this community and get a draw against them. But the interesting thing about the game was, Gyökeres and Isak played in a 2, which is something Sweden have not done very often. They've often moved Isak over to the left to accommodate Gyökeres through the middle. They played with 2 up front last night. They scored 6 goals. Isak didn't score, which was crazy. Gyökeres scored 4 goals. Now, listen, it's one game. This isn't me saying that, oh, he's better than Isak or any... At this point, I would, you know, any quality striker I would be happy with. And to be honest, I'd love Isak or Gyökeres to be playing for Arsenal. But, I mean, look at these stats. Victor Gyökeres has reached 32 goals for the season for club and country with the 4 goals he scored last night. Fabrizio tweeted this last night. He's now the Nations League top goal scorer. He's the Champions League joint top goal scorer. He's the Portuguese League top goal scorer. And he's the top assist getter in the Nations League. 39 goals, for club and country in just November. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's Azerbaijan. I don't care if it's the local co-op around the corner. This guy just can't stop scoring goals. Pay the damn money in January and make it happen. There's an interview out today with Anders Limpar, former Arsenal player from back in the day. Apparently, he was the mentor and coach of Victor Gyökeres when Gyökeres was playing in Sweden. And he says he knows Victor Gyökeres very well. And also, he thinks he would be interested in a move to Arsenal and says he would talk to him about the move. Listen, I've been saying on here for a while, I'm not sure whether Gyökeres would come to Arsenal now, but they've got to try. He has a release clause. Pay the release clause. He's on 45 grand a week. Quadruple that wage. Give him 180 grand a week with a big signing on fee. And try. Try, people. All you can do in life is try. If you try and it don't happen, what more can you do? But Arsenal don't even try. He's going to have 40 goals and assists by the end of November. People talk about Matt Turner saving Jamaica penalties. I'd rather not speak about it, people. I'd rather not. I once called him Tina Turner. So I suppose you could say that's karma for me calling him a pop star. Then he saves penalties against Jamaica. But it was Nations League. So I'm sure Jamaica will still qualify for World Cup 2026. But yeah, I would rather not talk about Matt Turner's penalty save against Jamaica. Thank you very much. Right, we'll move on from that. Victor Gyökeres. But listen, I'm going to be honest. Because when I talk about these things, we speak about what we want and then what we expect to happen. We're not getting this guy in January. You know we're not. I know we're not. Arsenal know they're not. And I tell you what, Stan Kroenke knows he's not. He's probably never heard of Victor Gyökeres. He probably never heard of him. Are we going to drop 85 million on Sporting Lisbon in January? Do me a favour. The problem is, why do we know Arsenal are not going to drop 85 million in January? Because this ownership have brainwashed the fan base into thinking that this is something that's not possible to do. Yeah, I've seen Chelsea drop 115 million on Enzo in a January window. Do you know what I mean? I've seen big moves in January. But Arsenal, we're penny pinching when it comes to Arsenal. Oh no, we got no money. Check my pockets. I got nothing on me. No dough, bro. No dough. This guy will end up elsewhere. Or we'll pretend we went in for him. Like we pretended we went in for Thomas Lamar for 90 million. Remember that one? On deadline day. We offered 90 million for Thomas Lamar. Monaco was selling every single player in their club. Mendy went to Man City. Bernardo went to Man City. Mbappe went to PSG. Bakayoko, was it? The midfielder, he went to Chelsea. Monaco was selling every player in their team. It was like an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Go up and serve yourself. Have as many plates as you want. We turned up with a record transfer fee for the guy who wasn't even their best player, Thomas Lamar, and they said, no, we'll reject that one. We'll reject that. We're not interested in 90 million for the left winger, but we'll sell Mbappe. We'll sell Bernardo Silva. We'll sell Mendy. We'll sell everyone. Do you really think Arsenal dropped 90 million on Monaco? Arsenal have been doing this for years, people. Yeah, we want Luis Suarez, 40 million and a pound. What, you don't think putting a pound after the 40 million is going to trigger Liverpool's owners to think you've got some sort of information on a release clause? So you're going to wind them up. Why don't you offer 41 million, 42 million? Make it look reasonable. You offered 40 million and a pound. And they rejected us and laughed at us, and he scored 30 goals the next season. We would have won the title with Luis Suarez. Arsenal been doing this for years, people. But I will not say too much. Let's see what happens in January. Gyökeres said he won't leave Sporting before the summer. It's a pointless convo. Listen, if somebody comes to you now and says, do you want to leave your job? On a public interview. Remember, he's being asked this in a public domain. This ain't behind closed doors by his friends. On a public domain, somebody's saying to Gyökeres, do you want to leave Sporting Lisbon in January? What would you say as a player? Yeah, do you know what? I'd love to go to the Premier League in January. I hope someone pays the release clause. You going to say that? Then the fans turn on you. Then people in the club are looking at you sideways. You're going to say that? No. I'm going to say, you ask me and I'm Victor Gyökeres, I'm going to say I'm happy at Sporting Lisbon. I'd like to stay here until the end of the season. I'm playing very well. I want to see what we can win. Fans love me. Board love me. Probably get a bonus. But if Arsenal turn up and my agent calls me and go, yo, Arsenal have just dropped the 85 million. You know that 45 grand a week, that's probably about 30 grand a week after tax. Arsenal are going to give you £180,000 a week. Plus, most players in the Premier League get a 10% signing on fee. So 85 million would be £8.5 million in his pocket. Then let's see how much Sporting Lisbon means to him. Then let's see. But Arsenal won't do it. Arsenal are too nice. Oh, leave him alone. He said he wants to stay at Sporting. Come on, man. Come on. If I said to you right now, are you happy in your job? And you said it on a public domain where everybody in your workplace could hear what you had to say. Would you say, do you know what? Can't stand this manager. My lunch break ain't long enough. They're always moaning at me, trying to get me to do overtime. I can't get weekends off. My holidays that I'm putting in for, they're always saying, no, I can't stand this place. You're going to get the sack. They're going to turn on you. No, you're going to say, yeah, I like it here. I'm happy here. What if I say, okay, I've got the same job for you, triple the wages? You'll say, oh, bun this guy. I'm leaving tomorrow. Not even handing in my notice. I'm just leaving. You know how it goes, my friend. Big up Matt. He said, same old song and dance, brother. Come on, man. Arsenal are that club that just hit the two-step every Saturday night. No matter what the song. No matter what the song. You know when you was younger, you used to see the older folks just doing two-step, clicking their fingers. I'd be in the club dropping all sorts of... You know how it was when you were younger people. Wacky dip, you know what I mean? Now, as you get older, you're like, yo, do you know what? That two-step's not bad, you know? It's a comfortable place to be. You got your drink in your hand. You know nothing crazy's going to go off. You know what I mean? But you got to at least wait till you get older to hit that two-step. Arsenal been hitting the two-step since they were young. At least when you were younger, you could drop a little move or the shoulder might be flinging or something. Arsenal been two-stepping for years. Hip-hop music, bashment, R&B, just two-stepping like this. Nah, we're not changing. Yo, bro, you know the rhythm's changed. You've got to move different. Cronkies are like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm two-stepping all night. What the hell's going on? Since the Invincibles, we've been two-stepping. That's all we're doing. We get close to the title, then we step away from it. We step there. Yo, you've nearly won the league. You're going to do it. And then we go back that way. We're like, what the hell are you going back over there for? Keep going this way. Nah, this is my only move. I nearly win the league, and then I move away from it. Then I nearly win it again. You all get hyped by the merch, including me. I'm in the same boat. And then you disappear. It's just two-step settings, people. I'm telling you. They've been two-stepping for 20 years. They won't change. The rhythm's changed. They're doing the same dance. I don't get it. Anyway, information and entertainment, people. We're here, people. We're here. The candy dance, you know, at the end of the night when the lights come on, just like candy. I still don't know that whole song. I've heard that song about 1,000,000 times in the club. I always get the rhythm wrong, you know. It always gets me. It's when they do the twist. I don't know what point. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Arsenal. Let's talk about Arsenal. The candy dance, man. I still don't know that dance. I get it wrong halfway through. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Somebody who ain't moving on, though, people. Somebody who ain't moving on. Pep Guardiola. And big up JXXY. Said it's my birthday today, Curtis. Blessings on your birthday, man. Have a good one. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself. Pep ain't leaving. You know when I seen this picture, I was like, look at them trophies, man. How many Prems? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Prems. I can see what? How many League Cups has he got there? I think there's 4 League Cups, 2 FA Cups. Some of these trophies I don't even know what they are. World Club Cup, I think that is. Super Cup, Champions. Look at the state of this. You know Wenger refused to leave so this guy could take the job, according to a lot of people. After we won the FA Cup, I think 2013, was it? When we beat Hull. Apparently Pep was interested in the Arsenal job. Loved the style of football, said it was similar to Barcelona. Wenger said, nah, I've won the FA Cup, I can rebuild. I'm begging for one of them big trophies. Just one of them, you know. One Prem, one Champions League, FA Cups, Carabao Cups, yeah, bonus. We've never even played in these Club World Cups. I've never seen Arsenal enter them competitions. That's what success looks like. That's what ambition looks like. That picture actually gets me so angry. It gets me so angry. Look at the picture. Look how many trophies, people. 115, all right, cool. Maybe 115. But if they get found guilty, cool. If they get away with it, they get away with it, people. That's how I look at things. You know, people get mad with it. You know, when you're in class or if you can do something and get away with it, then do it. As long as you don't harm anybody, really. If they manipulated their books, I'm going full screen. Do you know what? If Manchester City manipulated their books to sign better players, to win trophies, and they go in court and get away with it, you know what I'm saying to Manchester City people? Do you know what I'm saying to Manchester City? I'm saying, well done. Now, a lot of Arsenal fans won't like that, but me, I'm saying well done. That's what I'm saying. You manipulated it and got away with it. Let's not pretend. You think the Cronkays are billionaires by being nice guys? Go and look at the stuff that the Cronkays do. They've got trophy hunting channels on television where them men are hunting down animals with shotguns and just licking them down. Just shooting them on sight. Bang! Just licking down animals. You think the Cronkays are nice guys? Oh, but Manchester City manipulated the books and they're cheats. Come on, man. Nah, I'm not interested. If they manipulated the books and got away with it and ended up with all of that, well done. Well done. I wish we had owners that were more savvy and got away with it. We get close to the PSR line, we start crying. Oh, we're nearly at PSR. We can't spend a penny. PSR. That man got close to PSR and just jumped over the line. They didn't give a damn. They said, PSR, who gives a damn about that? We're billionaires. We'll find ways around it. You know what we'll do? We'll sponsor ourselves 100 million. We'll make up a company. We'll put one of the board members in there to own it. And we'll sponsor ourselves. So I'm not even mad. I'm not even sitting here mad at 115. If they get found guilty of it and it all falls apart, then we'll have that conversation. If they get away with it, well done. That's what I say. Well done. Simple as that, people. Simple as that. I'm not even sitting here mad at 115. The Premier League. Look at the stuff that's coming out with referees, people. Do we think the Premier League and the referees and the managers, do we think it's all clean cut and nothing's going on? They reckon Neymar's dad got 20 million euros cash from Barcelona. Not literally cash, but bank transfer, whatever. They reckon Neymar got 20 million euros to sign for Barcelona because Real Madrid wanted him. People have to understand, football is not no fair, nice, shake hands game. It's corrupt. It's brutal. Cash payments, brown envelopes, even at the lower levels I used to play at. Yo, man, we're meeting at motorway service stations, brown envelopes to sign for clubs. Managers on the phone, withheld number. Yo, legally, I'm not allowed to approach you. So I've rang you off a withheld number, but yo, would you sign for this club? Blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. Football is ruthless, people. Sport is ruthless. If they did it and got away with it, well done. Simple as that. That's where I'm at. And not everyone will like that. Look at the state of that picture. How Manchester City, you know. Manchester City were the type of club. When Arsenal had Man City on the weekend, I used to think, yeah, 3 or 4-0. Who've they got? Sean Goater. We had Thierry, bro. We used to go there and slap them lot. Man City were like playing Bournemouth or some mid-table dunce who finished 14th. We used to slap Man City, bro. Go there, Henry would be volleying it over them and doing all sorts to them. Look at that picture. How can people at Arsenal accept things like that? Chelsea having 2 stars above their badge. Let me move on. Let me move on because I just get myself angry, people. Real talk. Chelsea got 2 stars above their badge, you know. Not 1, 2. Drogba and Havertz. And I'm sitting here, I can't see no stars above the Arsenal badge. We ain't even been to a second final. Yeah, that man had Richard Dunn and Sean Goater and I can't even remember the Dons. Stephen Ireland. He was a decent player. That man there came from there, you know, and won the Champions League before us. We had Thierry. We had the absolute icon of the I'd just get myself angry. I'll be on stream for 3 hours. Let me move on. Pep's staying anyway. New contract. So all that 115 and Pep will leave. They're obviously confident they're going to get away with it, which is why Pep's extended his deal. Let's talk about Arsenal anyway. Transfers. Are we going to get one of them trophies? Paulo Wanchope. Oh, Distan. Yeah, they're the old school Dons. They had Sylvan Distan, Benjani and them, man. Yeah, they were a bit of a mess. Them type. You could slap up that Man City team, man. You know what I mean? And now look, they're bullying everyone. Joey Barton and them, man. Yeah, man. City were a mid-table team. I remember they lost 8-0 to Middlesbrough that time when Sven was the manager. They used to get slapped. Robinho was the signing that kind of changed things for them. Member stream this Friday, people. Member stream is this Friday. Yeah, this Friday. Robinho was the first major signing. I loved Robinho as a player. So skillful. Right, Arsenal transfers. Are these transfers going to win us the league? Are they going to help us? Let's get your thoughts, people. Arsenal are interested in signing Arda Guler from Real Madrid. It would be a loan until the end of the season. Arsenal are hoping that their relationship with Real Madrid from signing Martin Odegaard will work in their favour, and they're hoping that it will be a similar situation that, you know, Odegaard came in on loan, did well, was happy here. Real Madrid realised he couldn't get in their team, and they decided to sell him. This is a story coming out of Sport in Spain. It is Arsenal are interested in signing Arda Guler. I've contacted the player's entourage as well as Real Madrid to be informed of his situation. Arsenal see parallels between Guler and Martin Odegaard and will try to repeat the operation. Rinse and repeat settings. Yeah, relationship. What has anybody ever seen? I mean, yeah, you can give us Odegaard, but what's the relationship that we are supposed to have with Real Madrid? That's the first thing. We ain't got no relationship with Real Madrid. We're not in their contact list, people. Like, when you go on what no picture, it's grey. There's no... You message them, it's one tick. I don't believe we're in their contacts list. The only decent thing we've had is Odegaard, right? Danny Ceballos was Beyblade. He spun round for about 6 months, like the Tasmanian Devil, just spinning around like Sonic. And Julio Baptista, who was all right for about a month when he scored 4 goals, and then that just didn't work either. So I'm not sure about the relationship. Yeah, Mesut Ozil, but let's be honest, they wanted Mesut Ozil out of the door so they could sign Gareth Bale. So we got someone that they wanted out the door. They're probably sweetening us up, you know. Here, have our little young player on loan. We'll be back in the summer for Saliba, though, yeah? Give us the little wink. They're probably just softening Arsenal up. Go on, you can have Arda Guler, but we'll be back for your French centre-back in June. So, Arda Guler, Turkish international. What do you guys think, first of all? Doctors. What do you guys think about Arda Guler? Would you be happy with him? Listen, he's a good player. Very talented youngster. I thought he was brilliant for Turkey in the summer. Can play on the right, can play in the 10. 2 positions that we have struggled with. No real backup for Saka. Sterling's hardly played. And no backup for Odegaard. I mean, B-Sign said he's too raw. Owen said he's a good player. Big C, you forget Higuain and Benzema. Remember, every year we were signing Benzema from Real Madrid, and then we never got him. Andrew said not seen enough of him. Cello said Guler is decent. Turkish rates him highly. I actually spoke to him about him yesterday. He rates him. Listen, I'll give you my opinion. I think he's a very, very talented young player. I think his potential is super high. My problem with him is, I suppose, what level is he at now? He hasn't played a lot of first-team football if you look at his stats, really. You know, he sat on Madrid's bench. They're actually bringing on Brahim Diaz ahead of him. There's rumours today, actually, Real Madrid may let Arda Guler and Endrick go. Endrick's being linked with a move to Roma. If you look at Arda Guler, 10 appearances last season. He actually got 6 goals in 10 appearances, which is good. Only 8 appearances this season. No goals, no assists. All of them off the bench. 5 games for Turkey. Even at Fenerbahce, he'd only played around 50 games in all competition. He's 19 years of age. Very inexperienced. I think it's a situation where he goes from Real Madrid's bench and he sits on Arsenal's bench, to be honest. The one thing you could say is he'll probably come off the bench on a more regular basis than he is at Madrid. But I'm just not sure how much difference he makes in the Arsenal squad, because I don't think he gets that much game time. So I don't really get it. I don't get it. Listen, his talent is huge. I think we can all see. If you watched him for Turkey in the summer, he was fantastic. But I don't think he gets in Arsenal's team unless you play him on the left or Saka goes to the left. But I don't see them doing that. He's a good player. If we got him on loan, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I think he's better than some of the players that we've got on the bench. I just think it's a deal that works for Arsenal. I think Arsenal are looking for bargains, and it's a loan. It doesn't pressurise the club, and it's a name that they can throw at the fan base. And he does have creativity as well. He does. Question for you, Curtis. Why would Guler leave Madrid bench to come and sit on Arsenal's bench? You know Saka and Odegaard are not getting benched. I suppose they would promise him more game time. He'd probably start in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. He'd come off the bench nearly every week. He'd get the odd start. At Madrid, he's having games where he's not even coming off the bench. So he's got to do something. Sam, I'm with you. He said, if I'm Muani, I'm asking questions. I mean, Guler is obviously ahead of him because of his experience, but why not give Waneri a chance in that same role? Why bring Guler in, and what happens with him? Let's just say he comes in at Arsenal for 6 months and he's fantastic. And we're like, oh my God, we've got to sign him. Are Madrid going to give you an option to buy him? I don't think they are. So if he comes in and does really well and then he goes, you're thinking, actually, we could have done with him. So I don't know about this signing. Listen, the position we're in right now, it's just a bonus signing for me. If this is our January big signing, Arda Guler, I'm sitting there going, that's not enough. It's not enough. If you bring me Gyökeres and then you throw Arda Guler in on loan, I'm going, I'll take that all day long. That's a fantastic window. If you don't address what we actually need, this signing alone is not enough as far as I'm concerned. I don't look at that signing and think we've got a chance of winning the league if we get him. I think he can help us. I think he boosts the squad. You get him on loan. I'd like to get an option to buy just in case he does really well. But in isolation, it's not enough. It's not enough. We've done this a lot before. Ceballos, Denis Suarez. These loans where you think it's a good player. I don't know. He's a good backup for Odegaard. He's a good backup for Saka. It's not enough for Arsenal in the situation we're in. RA said, no disrespect, are we comparing a Real Madrid prospect with an Arsenal prospect? But the reality is, what I'm saying is, you don't stamp on one of your own prospects for somebody that might be here for 6 months and then that's it. If you can't get an option to buy on him and you're just holding back Waneri, Waneri looks like the star young player at the moment, yet we're holding him back and not playing him. We're actually not even playing that well. So, yeah, listen, in isolation, decent signing. He helps the squad. He's definitely talented, but we need more than that. I'm sorry. If we were top of the league and we were playing fantastic football at the moment, and Havertz was banging goals in, and we signed Arda Guler, I'd say I like that signing because we're actually in form and you're just adding something else to help us. But we're struggling at the moment. Bringing in a 19-year-old who's on Real Madrid's bench, who's hardly kicked a ball, can we throw it on his shoulders and say, go and save us? No. He's going to come to Arsenal and sit on the bench because he ain't playing ahead of Odegaard or Saka. So I'm just not sure. Like I said, if you buy Gyökeres, then get Arda Guler, I'm happy. If he's the only signing, then you're going to see some emotional and angry shows at the end of January. I actually think he's a fantastic prospect, but that is not enough. Mo2K said, Arteta out, salute. I think that conversation will be had a number of times this season. Why Always Me said, ex-head of FIFA said Plata was corrupted. I mean, listen, I just want to say, by me saying well done to Man City if they get away with 115 does not mean I'm encouraging cheating. There's types of corruption, manipulating the books and things like that, you know, and putting a sponsor, but actually you own them. I think that's, I hate to say it, and maybe I'm brutal, people. I think that's smart business if they get away with that. We're not talking about doing something that damaged people's lives, and yeah, that's different. I'm talking about, we need to spend 250 million, but we've only earned this much money. We need to get another 50 million into the club, so we're going to make up a sponsor that we actually own. I think that's smart business, people. I'm sorry, I do. And not everybody will like that and agree with that, because people say, we're the Arsenal, we do things properly and all that. I'm sorry, but I've seen enough from Arsenal over the past few years to make me say, this football club are not even the most clean cut. And people will not like this conversation. Arsenal laying off 65 members of staff during COVID, including the dinosaur. They laid off a T-Rex during lockdown. And Ozil had to bring him back and say, brother, you're only getting £400 a week. I'll pay it out of my own pocket. Look, when Ozil started talking about, the Muslims and what was happening. And the club said, whoa, we'll stay away from that, because if we talk about that, the sponsorships might get mashed up. So let's be real, man. This club knows when they pick and choose their battles, and I'm not going to say too much, but you know what I'm saying, people. So just hear what I'm saying when I say that. I'm not trying to upset anybody, but let's be real. They're either all the way supportive of everything, or they pick and choose, and this club will pick and choose. Oh, that's a problem? Yeah, we'll support that because that won't affect us. But we won't support that because if we do support that, that might affect our pockets. So you deal with that yourself. Let's just keep it 100, people. Not every channel will talk about these. I'm keeping it a book with the community here, people. That's the reality of the situation. So if they can get away with 115, fair play. Fair play. Look at the trophies that was on that screen. I'll take 115 at Arsenal for a Champions League, 4 Premier Leagues in a row, 4 League Cups, 3 FA Cups. Come on. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, Arda Guler. Let's talk about part 2. Because what it looks like is that we are January sale shopping. Like when you get told, like, oh, I didn't buy you anything for Christmas, I'll get you something out of the sales. You're like, what? It's Christmas today. Where's my damn present? Arsenal are in the January sales, man, looking for... And listen, not everybody will agree. I get it. But you know what I'm saying. We've spoken about this guy before. I'm telling you now, calmly as well, taking a sip of my water right now. If this football club, knowing that we are desperate for a striker, and knowing there's a Swedish goal machine called Gyökeres who we're actually going to see on Wednesday, and I said this on Dan Potts' show, I hope we beat Sporting Lisbon 4-3, and I hope Gyökeres scores a hat-trick, because I want Arteta and everybody from Arsenal to walk out of that stadium on Wednesday night and go, oh my God, we have got to buy Gyökeres. I hope Arsenal Beat Sporting Lisbon on Wednesday 4-3, and I want a Gyökeres hat-trick. I want them to walk out of that stadium and go, we have got to buy him. But let me tell you something. For those of you not looking at the screen, maybe you're listening in. I've got Kolo Muani links on the screen. And I'm telling you now, if this giraffe version of Eddie Nketiah signs for Arsenal in January instead of Gyökeres, I'm going to have to start streaming on other platforms. Whatever that is, whether it's MySpace. You know I'm old school, people. You know I've got no dishwasher and I've got a Hotmail account. So I'll go back to MySpace, MSN Messenger. We can go BlackBerry Messenger if you want to ping me. Bebo. Whatever network I need to stream on, I may have to stream on there, people. Because let me tell you now, if this BTEC Sanogo, this giraffe version of Eddie Nketiah, this French Tammy Abraham signs for this football club, the guy that missed the one-on-one to give France the World Cup, I'm telling you now, I'm going to say some stuff that could put this channel in jeopardy if we sign this bum at this football club. According to Graham Bailey, Arsenal and Manchester City, Man City, you know, but their circumstances are different. They've got the best goal scorer in world football. So they can sit this giraffe down on the bench and go, you know what, Haaland's knackered, just run around for 15 minutes. We actually need somebody that starts up front. Both watched, Arsenal and Man City, both watched Randall Kolo Muani during the recent international window. PSG are ready to let Kolo Muani leave in January and would consider a short-term loan. He is not in Luis Enrique's plans. Wow. Let's have a look. You know how they'll sell this to us as well. French international. They paid big money for him. By the way, remember, Arteta loves Luis Enrique. He said it before the PSG game. They've got a great relationship from their time at Barcelona, and Arteta looked up to him. Wow, they paid 70 million euros for him. That is what you call getting bumped. Eintracht Frankfurt, he scored 15 goals in 32 games, and they got 72 million for him. What a deal for Frankfurt. Last season, 26 league games in the French league for the best team in the French league, PSG. By far the best team in France. 26 games. Do you know how many goals he scored in 26 games? 6. 6 goals in 26 games in the French league for the best team in France. Kolo Muani. They are Eddie Nketiah numbers. So when I call him a giraffe version of Eddie Nketiah, the French Tammy Abraham, the BTEC Yaya Sanogo, he really is. 2 goals in 8 games this year. Like, honestly, I would rather have Kai Havertz for the rest of the season. And honestly, do you know how deep it is for me to make those comments? If you watch this channel on a regular basis, you know my thoughts on Kai Havertz. I would rather play Havertz every single game of this season than sign this giraffe. I don't want nothing to do with this guy. Someone just said it. Yeah, Balogun got more goals than him last year. Remember, Balogun's had a 20-goal season in the French league for Rhyme, however you spell them. Buster Rhymes, whatever they're called. I don't care if it's a loan. I don't care if it's a trial. I don't care if he's doing work experience. I don't care if he's been an Arsenal fan since he was a teenager and he had posters of Thierry Henry on the wall. I don't give a damn. I don't care if Nicolas Anelka's his uncle. I don't care if Robert Pires is his cousin. I don't care if Tony Adams is your stepdad. Don't bring this guy to Arsenal Football Club. I said to Mikel Arteta 2 years ago, what about Kylian Mbappe? He said, no, shut down that question. I got all kinds of criticism. You don't go to PSG and sign bums like this. Randall. What kind of name is that, Randall? Coca-Cola Muani. Coca-Cola Sanogo. Havertz every single day of the week. If this guy signs, the meltdown, I'll be on live stream for 40 hours in a row. I'll just sleep on the stream and hope that I had a nightmare. I think, as you can tell, people, I'm not overly keen on this signing. Don't know what the problem is, but yeah. Mark Randall. Bro, I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm not too keen on him. You might have picked up on my thoughts, but yeah, if we sign Coca-Cola, Muani, Sanogo, honestly, let me get that off the screen. It's burning my eyes. Let me read your super chats, people. Adash said, Arteta's a good manager, not a great one. Every time he's faced tough teams and difficult situations, he's chickened out, doesn't use youth enough, and too defensive. Let me break down your comment. Good manager, not a great one. I mean, even good managers win trophies. I don't think he's won enough. I'd say he's an all right manager. But yeah, every time he's faced tough teams, that's a bit harsh. We've got a good record against the big clubs, but there has been times he's definitely backed out. Doesn't use youth enough. Absolutely he doesn't. And too defensive. Well, the defensive thing has turned up this season. And I don't know where it's come from. It's got to be the David Moyes, because Pep ain't defensive and neither was Wenger. So I don't know why he turned into this defensive manager. So big up Adash. Dino said, stinks of Luka Jovic, not interested. Remember that? Everyone wanted Jovic. He went to Madrid. He was the lone signing everyone wanted. His career's just gone down the pan. Adash again, big up bro. He said, Arsenal turning into a hobby club instead of trophies. Pickpocketing, lemon squeezing, dog petting, bench people writing books, players singing hip-hop soon. Yeah, well, Iwobi's got a rap song out, hasn't he? You know what I mean? I'm glad he never made that song when he was at Arsenal, because that song is shocking. Yeah, we're writing books when we haven't even finished our career. You're getting your phone robbed out your pocket at a meeting. The dog's pooing all over the training ground. ESR was eating a double cheeseburger and fries on the bench. But apart from that, trust the process. And Ed, who's done one and tripled his wages, been put on gardening leave. They've sent him home and said, we'll pay you full wages, just get out of it. But apart from that, people, trust the process, working out perfectly. And Pep signed a new deal on Arne Slot. He's flying. MJ said, for all of the slander, it's arguable Spurs' best ever Prime 11 beats yours. Jennings, Walker, do me a favour. MJ, relax yourself, man. And like, let's be real. I've seen some of the players in that team. You've just put Ledley King at right back. You've put Kyle Walker at left back. It's over. It's over before you've even got out of the defence. So I haven't even got into midfield and you've lost. You know me, when the time's right, the club will get criticised. But if I have to defend them, I will defend them. You've had an absolute stinker. You've put Ledley King at right back. What's he going to do against a quick winger? Jonathan Woodgate. Do you know what? Thank you for the $9.99. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Like, I'll criticise this club when Gareth Bale, Jimmy Greaves and Harry Kane. You ever heard of Thierry Henry, Vavavoom? He's probably better than all three of them mixed in a pot and put together. You've turned up with Jonathan Woodgate. Ledley King at right back. Dude, just... Thank you for the $9.99. Hold a timeout. Go and watch the Arsenal Invincibles when we were actually special. And then come back, we'll have a conversation. But thank you for the super chat. Troy said, Arteta sexuals say, if Arteta wants him, we want him. Yeah, if Arteta rates him, so do I. That's what they say. Oh, what a picture. What a picture. Queen Kylie says, you'd have me over Coca-Cola Muani. Oh, God. First donkey of his name. Oh, my days. The slander is outrageous. I would actually take Havertz over Kolo Muani, honestly. I think he's probably a better player than him. Randall is similar to Anelka, to be fair. I'll see you in 3 minutes, Wire Always Me. I'm convinced you're on the wind-up, but thank you for the €2 super chat. You ever seen Muani running away like this? Nicolas Anelka, mate, is arguably one of the best strikers we've seen at Arsenal in the past 30 years. And I mean that sincerely. He's absolutely outrageously good. I'm giving you 3 minutes to go and watch Anelka's goal highlights at Arsenal. And Guy Fawkes said, to be fair, he did get 23 goals and 17 assists in 22-23. I'm going to fact check you on that. Let's have a look. 22-23. Oh, all competition. All competition he did. He got 6 goals in the German Cup. And he got 2 goals in the Champions League. But in the league, the bread and butter, 32 games, 15 goals. It's not nothing special, is it, really? Odegaard got 15 league goals in the Prem 2 seasons ago. So did Martinelli. We're calling Martinelli Ricky Martin Smelly right now. So him scoring 15 goals in the German league where Timo Werner was getting 30 goals, that don't mean enough to me, I'm afraid. He's still Coca-Cola Muani, and I don't want that giraffe anywhere near the club. Nowhere near the club. Right, that gets the super chats. We're up to date, people. People going crazy. I'm telling you, that timeout room's going to be full. People comparing Muani to Anelka and telling me Tottenham got a better 11 of all time than Arsenal, putting Woodgate in it. You know what I mean? Jonathan, I wouldn't even put Woodgate in Arsenal's defence now, bro. He ain't better than Saliba or Gabriel. You're coming with him as your best ever centre-back pairing next to Sol Campbell. Do me a favour, lad. Do me a favour. But thank you for the $9.99. It's freezing at the moment. The gas is on. It's costing about £9 an hour, so fair play to you. Anyway, let's move on, people. Information and entertainment. You know what we're about here, people. Big up the community locked in. 2,000 of you tuned in. Big up the Twitch gang as well. The whole C unit. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel and all of that good stuff, people. Anyway, we've got a few more things to talk about. Don't go anywhere, people. Don't go anywhere. Let's talk about... Again, I've got to take a moment. Got to take a moment. Cheers, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Let's talk about Zinchenko. Let's talk about Zinny. The left back that can't defend. After Pep robbed us for 35 million, he sold us a left back that can't defend and a striker that can't score goals. Apart from that, they're brilliant at their job. It's like getting on a bus and the driver's got no license. Zinchenko reveals on his book, Believe. Did Robbie write it with him? Believe, believe. We're going to win the league, believe. Via The Athletic, he said, I've seen Mikel Arteta tell injured players to come on the team bus, walk into the dressing room with their wash bag to put the other manager off the scent. Win the dog. Sniffer dog. Is win the dog a sniffer dog? I tell you what, mate. I can smell the scent. It smells like BS. BS, the type of football we're playing this season, by the way. Or maybe that's Wynn's dog poo that we can smell. Maybe Wynn's dumped all over the training ground. Maybe that's what we can smell. Because I can smell it. I don't know if you can smell it, people. But I can smell it. Arteta loves to play games with the opposition. What does he play? Monopoly? It's nearly Christmas. That's a good family game. You play Monopoly, or was he playing EAFC? Weekend League, maybe. People saying snitchers get stitches. I just want to say, by the way, couple things here. Couple things. Is this Zinchenko basically saying, I'm leaving now, I don't care? Because I'm not being funny. Usually, you don't say this until you've left the football club, or maybe you've retired at the end of your career and you go, yo, 10 years ago when I played for Arsenal, you know, Arteta used to get injured players. Bro, you're meant to be in the matchday squad this weekend against Forest. You've just revealed in a book that your manager's telling injured players to walk on with their wash bag. So next time this happens, how's he supposed to get away with it when you've just told everybody what he's doing? Somebody figure it out. Like, is this an inverted book? Were you not supposed to tell everyone, but you have told everyone? So you're inverting with the stories. You're meant to be at left back, but you're in centre mid. You weren't meant to say anything, but you did say something. I'm trying to figure this out, people. And second of all, how come you're doing an autobiography at the age of 26, bro? Finish your career. See where it ends up. Tell us everything. Carry on, bro. You ain't finished yet. Believe. Who's buying this book for Christmas? I want to know, is anybody buying this book for Christmas? There's 2 books. What's it called? The Revolution of Arsenal by Charles Watts and Believe by Zinchenko. Honestly, get me the Lynx Africa set. Get me the 6-pack of plain socks. Get me just don't get me Charles Watt's Revolution book and don't get me Zinchenko Believe. They're the kind of books you just put in the charity shop. That's it. Informer. You know, said that. Yo, brother. Just quiet, man. Quiet. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. Maybe we do that in the giveaway, people. Maybe I get you Zinchenko's book and Charles Watt's The Revolution. Maybe we do them as giveaways for the community. Nah, to be honest. Jesus. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I feel like this is Zinchenko just saying, you know what? This guy's playing Kivior ahead of me. He's playing Calafiore. He's playing Timber. He's playing Tomiyasu. He's even playing Lewis Skelly. I feel like Zinchenko's just down tools and said, that's me, done. I'm revealing the secrets. He'll probably come out and say he preferred playing for Man City, which he probably did anyway. That would be the worst giveaway ever. It would actually be a punishment. And to be fair, I wouldn't actually spend money on those two books. I certainly wouldn't read them. That is for damn sure. But what do you guys think of this story? Does Zinchenko play for Arsenal again? Is Arteta going to be annoyed with this? The de-evolution, you know what I mean? How he took us so close to the title that we could smell it, but we never actually got our hands on it. The scent. They walk into the dressing room with the wash bag to put the other manager off the scent. Listen, lads, right? Gonna need you to do something. Win the Dog has dumped in the away dressing room. It absolutely stinks. So what we're going to have to do to put the away manager off the scent, I'm going to need Declan Rice and Tomiyasu, all of you, get your Louis Vuitton wash bag. Don't matter if there's anything in it, shower gel, deodorant. Walk off the bus. Try not to limp because you've got a broken toe, your hamstrings mash up. Kieran Tierney, you can even join in if you want. I know your hamstrings popped, but get the Louis wash bag. Just walk off the bus, don't limp, get in the dressing room, and they won't be able to smell Win as dumped in the away dressing room. How about that? Max, bro, my apologies. I got a message you back. I did get your WhatsApp. Big up, bro. I will get that info to you. Big up, Max, bro. But yeah, this face kind of sums it up. I feel like here, I don't even know what's happened here. But I'm looking at this like, this feels like Arteta hasn't brought him on at the end of a game. And Zinchenko, look, even the way he's doing his mouth, it's like, you think you can get away with that? You cone man, you used to pick up my water bottle, mate, at Manchester City. I'm telling everything in the book, believe. I'm going to reveal your secrets. I preferred it at Man City anyway. I only came here because you said you'd win the league. You've lied to me. He's telling all the secrets. All the secrets are coming out, mate. Zinchenko. He's standing up in court pointing. He said, yo, it's him, officer. It was him. Mikel Arteta. He's lying. They're injured. He's telling them to walk in the dressing room. Yeah, interesting. Will he play for Arsenal again? Surely somebody asks him about it in the press conference. Let me get into these super chats. Pardon me, but I'm a classy... Respect. Win the therapy dog. Win the dog, you know. Maybe that's how all the players are getting injured. Maybe they're slipping on the dog poo, you know. All right, MJ's back. $4.99. Okay, do ours versus yours. Need a good laugh. Schmeichel, you've put Giggs at left back. You've put Beckham at right back. See, what you're getting wrong here, MJ. You're just trying to squeeze your best players into the team with no balance. You're putting wingers at fullback. What's Ryan Giggs going to do at left back? What's Bex doing at right back against Pires? You can't do that. Scholes, Charlton, Best, Ronaldo, Cantona, Rooney. It's a serious team. We can have an argument, but your two fullbacks are going to get roasted. That is actually, yeah, it's a great team. You should have put probably Gary Neville and Dennis Irwin or Evra. But you can't just fit everyone in. What am I going to do? Put Pires at left back so I can put Sanchez left wing and, you know what I mean? Man's playing ultimate team. But, listen, I hear you, MJ. That's a great team outside of your fullbacks. That would be... It's not quite worthy of a timeout. But definitely a consider your actions. You know, it's a warning. We can't just fit the best players in anywhere. I got Ian Wright at left back so I can put Bergkamp up front and all kinds of madness. But, yeah. That's a better attempt. 115 Charger said, Zinni is doing up inverted bench. Yeah, for real. He said, what? You want to sit me down? I'm going to reveal everything before I leave it. And Why Always Me said, these clowns need to read David Goggins' book. But it'd be better than reading The Revolution by Charles Watts. That is for damn sure. Yeah, who's Ian Wright, which is what they said in the airport. Yeah, I'm Ian Wright, mate. Second top goal scorer of all time. Okay, shut up. Take the picture. Yeah, no chemistry. Red lines everywhere on EAFC, people. Big up everyone locked in. Hope you're well. TV1's come with a greatest team. Seaman, Cole, Adams, Saliba, Lauren, Perez, Vieira, Petit, Lundberg, Henry, Bergkamp. I would argue with probably two of the selections there. Saliba, Sol Campbell. Even though Sanchez played more on the left, I would probably put him in the team over Freddie Lundberg, if I'm being totally honest. If we're just looking at individual brilliance rather than what Lundberg achieved at the club overall. You could even argue Cesc Fabregas for Manuel Petit. But Petit was a French International World Cup winner, but I think those three are the only arguments. Seaman, Cole, Adams, Lauren, Perez, Vieira, Henry, Bergkamp. I think that's clear as day. What do you guys think about that? That's a great team. I'm just thinking in my own mind, I think I'm taking out Freddie Lundberg for Alexis Sanchez. I know Freddie won a lot more. Petit Fabregas would be close as well. And Saliba, Sol Campbell would be close as well. Some people even saying Gilberto over Petit. I think with Gilberto, because Gilberto was a DM, Vieira started going more box to box. So you got more of an all-round Vieira. When Petit was there, Vieira, I feel like, sat back a lot more. What would you guys? I would add Mesut Ozil wouldn't get anywhere near that team for me. Nowhere near. He downed tools at the end. He was brilliant when we first got him, though. I'll give you that. Dre says Van Persie. Who you putting him over, though, bro? He ain't as good as Bergkamp or Henry. If anything, you got to have the Ian Wright debate up front before we talk about Van Persie. Fabregas 100%, and that's by a French guy. Yeah, Fab for me was absolutely incredible at Arsenal. 16 years of age in the first team. And Mohammed said, what do you think about Rice following Lee Gunner on X? I mean, listen, first of all, one thing you got to understand, you think these players aren't watching channels? You think Arsenal players are just off the internet? They're regular guys, man. They're just famous. Of course they're gonna. When I used to play, I used to be on the internet looking what fans were saying on the forums. I've had a bad game. Damn, I'm getting ripped apart here. I had a great game. I'd be on there like, look at this. You know what I mean? My ego's, that feels great. You think these guys, they watch everything. They told us this in America. They said, yo, the media team are watching multiple channels online. They want to see the reaction to the games, the team selection, the managers, all of that. And the players are doing it as well. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Not one bit. I suppose a lot of them won't follow people because they don't want it out there publicly. But they're definitely all watching. 100%. You might have the odd one that just stays away from everything. Fair play, but the majority of them are watching, man. Majority of them are definitely watching. So if you are watching, lads, you lot better fix up because you lot stink at the moment, yeah? And Saka, stop limping. Real talk. Sorry, people. I had to get it in there. And Havertz, you, mate, sit down on the bench and tell him to buy a new striker. Now, listen, just beat Forest this weekend because I got a lot of friends who are Forest fans and I'm going to get cooked in the WhatsApp groups if you don't win it. Two final stories before we get out of here. And that is Arsenal are looking to offload these three players in January, which would make sense with Zinchenko revealing all. According to Insider, these three players are not in the manager's long-term plans. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta is reportedly considering selling three senior players in the January transfer window. Those players are Gabriel Jesus, Alexander Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney. I mean, I'm not surprised. Tierney, they reckon Tierney could end up back at Celtic, but the thing that I found really disappointing about that story is that they're saying that Tierney could potentially go there for nothing. This could be an actual termination of contract. The problem that you've got is Scottish football do not pay big wages. Kieran Tierney's on 100 grand a week. There's no way. There's no way that Celtic can afford those wages. You're dissing Jesus there, but to be fair, he is high-fiving the Utes then. So they're saying it may be a situation that Arsenal have to just say you can go there for free. Because if Celtic don't have to pay a fee and they maybe would have paid 10 million for him, they can give him that in wages. Again, how do Arsenal end up in these situations? I really don't understand. How can they... Kieran Tierney at one stage, I remember people were saying Kieran Tierney can become an Arsenal legend. That's the level people were talking about. This could be Arsenal's left back for the next 10 years. They were the conversations that were being had about Kieran Tierney. Could be future Arsenal captain. Solid defender, the best. People saying this is the best left back defensively we've had since Ashley Cole. Better than Monreal, better than Clichy, better than Gibbs, better than Andre Santos, better than all of them defensively. Two things ruined him. Injuries. The guy's body just breaks down all the time. And then the second one is inverted left back. Forcing him to invert, he's not that guy. Gabriel Jesus, I've said for a long time on this channel, go home, learn Arabic. Because that's the only way, in my opinion, Jesus leaves Arsenal Football Club. I've seen people saying about getting him to Brazil, Palmeiras. Palmeiras cannot pay 250 grand a week to Jesus. They don't have that kind of wage in Brazil, which is why the top Brazilian players tend to leave Brazil and come to Europe, because they don't have the wages. So how do you get Jesus off the wage bill at 250? I don't see many clubs in Europe going for him. He has been linked to Newcastle. I actually think Newcastle would be a decent move for him. Could play right wing at times. You could go Jesus, Gordon, and Isak. And obviously he would be a backup player for Isak up front. I think that'd be a decent move for him. Bruno Guimaraes is there, and Joel Linton, couple Brazilians. Listen, I think you know my thoughts. I'd be happy to sell all three of those players. When you think Jesus is on 250, Zinni's on 150, Tierney's on 100, you're talking about £500,000 a week wages off the wage bill. Also, when I read the full story, it does say Arsenal are open to offers for Jakub Kiwior, which I think we all know that Kiwi ain't ripe as well. They could do with getting him out the door. And you hope that if they sell a few players, it may open the door to bring players in. But I think we'll do very well to get rid of Jesus and Zinchenko in January. Especially Jesus. Who wants an injury-prone striker that's on £250,000 a week that doesn't score goals often? That's a tough sell. That's a real tough sell. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we get them off the wage bill. There's a few more I'd get rid of as well, to be honest. Final story before we round up, people. Bit of good news. These two are expected to be fit and available at the weekend. Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice. Obviously, both of them pulled out of the England squad. Saka had a thigh injury that he got in the Chelsea game. Declan Rice, obviously, was nursing a broken toe. None of them went on international duty with England. They've had 2 weeks to rest, recuperate, have treatment off the physio, and both expected to be available for this weekend. Going to be interesting. We'll talk about this in more detail, probably from Friday when we do press conference reaction, but how Arsenal are going to set up for this weekend, because we know Ben White's out for at least 6 weeks, although some people are saying it could be 12 weeks. Now, the thought process would be that Timber goes right back, Calafiori goes left back. That would make the most sense. But the interesting thing is, Calafiori's been out for weeks, hasn't played any football, and you're talking about a Forest team that is very direct with the likes of Hudson-Odoi and Elanga playing out wide. I'm not sure he's just going to throw Calafiori in at left back in a game like that with two very direct wingers, he may actually wait. And he may actually go with Partey at right back, because I've just been thinking for a while that this manager, I think he wants Mourinho in this team. I don't think he's comfortable with Mourinho just sitting on the bench. I think he wants to get him in the team. And I don't personally think that Declan Rice and Partey this season has worked very well. I just don't think it's gone very well. Now, he may go with those two, and he may play Calafiori at left back, but would you be surprised if Partey was at right back and he played Rice, Mourinho and Odegaard? Because you've got to remember, Partey's out of contract this summer. Now, my only worry would be, again, Partey against Elanga or Hudson-Odoi could be a problem. They're both very direct. H said, not going to lie, Mourinho looked class for Spain. Well, he needs to convert that into Arsenal form. International football slower. Spain dominate the ball. This is not the same. The Premier League is one of the quickest leagues, one of the most physical leagues. He's got to adapt. And the problem is, and why I'm frustrated with Mourinho, is Mourinho has played in the Premier League before. It's not like he's just left La Liga and the Prem and it shell-shocked him and he's got to get used to it. He played for Newcastle for a season. He knows what the Premier League is about. So he needs to quickly adapt. He has not impressed me one bit in an Arsenal shirt so far. You know, him playing well for Spain is irrelevant if he can't convert it into Arsenal form. So, yeah, and Ross, that's what I'm kind of thinking. It could be, listen, sorry, Thomas, this is your last season. You're at right back. I'll get you in the team because you've played well, but you're playing at right back. Because I just think Rice in the 8 is ruining his season. I think it's ruining him as a player. He's not ready to play in the 8. He may become an 8 long term. If you're in the 8, you've got to be able to affect the game going forward, either with your passing or your shooting or your creativity. Declan Rice passing is not great. His shooting, he doesn't hardly shoot. His creativity is not great. He doesn't open up a defence. So, in terms of an 8, what quality does Declan Rice have? Yeah, at times he can do those driving runs and get forward. But apart from that, he doesn't have any obvious quality that makes him an 8. He has the majority of the qualities that you want from a 6. The most obvious one that he lacks is people feel he isn't comfortable enough receiving the ball under pressure. Is he a press-resistant 6 in the way that Rodri is? You go and press Rodri, he'll bop it around you. He sees the picture. I think what people have to understand, Declan Rice, number 1, in youth team football was a central defender, not a midfielder. Number 2, he's been raised by David Moyes at West Ham. Their football was to ping the ball long to Mikel Antonio and get the knockdowns to Jared Bowen and Ben Rama and whoever else they've had, Kudus. I think you play Rice in the 6 and you coach him. You coach him. We have this thing in football nowadays that if you're not good at something, that's it. You're not good at it. Whatever happened to a coach improving you? Was Thierry Henry a world-beating goal scorer when he walked through the door? No, he wasn't. He was a fast winger. Arsene Wenger turned him into a monster. Was Patrick Vieira the best centre-mid when he got him? No. He was sitting on the bench at AC Milan. Now, I know I'm comparing him to monsters of the game. But there are other players that you can look at. You know, was Jordan Henderson a top player at Liverpool when he went there? I thought he was an awful player. But by the time he left, he'd left with an unbelievable status at that club. Gini Wijnaldum and Firmino joined as an attacking midfielder. What happened to coaching? You're on £15 million a season. If Declan Rice ain't great at receiving the ball on the half turn, every single day in training, in keep ball, you get him in the 6, you play the ball into him, and you go and press him. And he does it every single day until it becomes a habit. And if he can't do it, then you may have messed up. Why did you spend 105 million on a 6 that you don't think's good enough on the ball? Why didn't you buy Zubimendi? Why didn't you buy somebody else? If you needed that, work on him, improve him, get him better on the ball. Thomas Partey is very comfortable on the ball, and that's what gets him ahead of Rice in the 6. But Rice is fantastic at protecting the back four, hunting people down, winning the ball back. He's got to improve on the ball. You've got to coach him. It's lazy, in my opinion, to just say, oh, he's not great at receiving the ball, so I'll throw him in the 8. He's not a good 8. He's not a good 8. Let's just be honest. He is not a good 8. So we still need to buy an 8, unless Mourinho turns out to be a miracle, but I don't see it. Christopher said, Curtis, our wingers will never hit 20 goals. They do far too much defending. We need to control the midfield better so they stay high and wide. I agree with you on the Rice one, best at 6. Said it so many times, bro. And I listen, I've been critical of Saka and Martinelli and Trossard. Our wingers defend way too much. Way too much. They run so much. No wonder they don't do much going forward. How can you have Rice and Partey as your 2 DMs, plus a back 4 and a goalkeeper, yet you're still pulling your wingers back constantly? Not many teams have got 2 number 6s as good as that. That's a lot of protection. You shouldn't need Saka and Martinelli to come back too far. Fullbacks nowadays get lazy. They're not prepared to go 1v1 with wingers. Oh, you've got to come and cover me all the time and make it a 2v1. Mark your man and defend. You know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to leave your winger high up the pitch. Adash said you are supposed to highlight the best attributes of your players. Look at Slot, Pep, playing them where... look at Slot, not playing them where they don't fit. Exactly. That's the job of the coach. That's the job of the coach. 15 million a season, mate. 105 million pound. I expect you to improve him. It's as simple as that. They don't have to be what they are now. There's players you've probably watched in the past. At 21 they were okay, by 27 they were outstanding, or vice versa. You know, so I think coaches nowadays sometimes are lazy. That Pep pick is stupidly gangster. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Surrounded by trophies, cigar in his mouth. Sometimes I think ambition scares Arsenal. If I'm being totally honest. People might think I'm crazy with this comment. I think ambition scares our owners. Because you know what ambition does? Ambition creates expectation. It creates pressure. It creates accountability, and it creates failure. When you're ambitious. Expectation, accountability, failure, and pressure. That's what ambition creates. And I don't think the Kroenkes want any of that. They don't want accountability, which means we hold them responsible for what they do right and wrong. They hide their quiet, so they have no accountability. They don't want the pressure, because they want to concentrate on the clubs that they own that mean more to them. Right? They don't want the expectation from the fan base that, yo, you better... Because if you... Don't get me wrong. You know, if you win one title, people are going to say, I need that again. You got to go and win that again. You can't win one and then disappear for 10 years. We're going to start saying, yo, you've won a league now. I need another one. They don't want that. And also, it's going to put financial pressure on them. Because if you win the league, you've got to go again. You got to go again. You got to spend big money. You got to pay out bonuses. You got to lift the wage bill. I don't think they want that. I've always said this football club is very happy in this comfort blanket of top 4. Top 4 is not enough to get the majority of the fan base to turn on Mikel Arteta. They'll say, give him another year. It's just a blip if we finish 4th this season or 3rd. The majority. There'll be a minority, myself included, that will say that's not enough, get rid of him. But the majority will say, oh, it's just a bad year. He didn't have a good window. Give him another year. The ownership will keep him because they'll go, Champions League money turned up. Did they win the league? Nah, don't worry about it. Champions League money's in the bank. Let's go to watch Denver Nuggets against the Lakers. Happy days, Jokic against LeBron. That's what they're more interested in, people. So ambition scares this ownership when it comes to Arsenal. They don't want an ambitious fan base. They don't want a demanding, a vocal fan base. They want an accepting, a quiet fan base that just take it and get on with it. Great expectations. You're right. You're right, Elliot. Demand more, you probably get more. You accept this, you're just going to get this. That's where it is. I think that's everything for today. Yeah, Rice and Saka back. Right, people, yeah. I'll round up there. Thank you very much. We've been over the hour. AI fan base. Yo, man, don't do it, man. Listen, big up to everyone locked in. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow, the show will be a little bit later because I'm on DR Sports at 12:30. For their weekend preview show because Rob is living the high life in Dubai. So yeah, I'm on there tomorrow at 12:30. We'll discuss the weekend's games. So tune in 12:30 on DR. So I should be back on here later in the afternoon. It'll be later than 2. It might be around 3 o'clock, so it shouldn't be too late. And then on Friday, we will do a member stream as well for those of you that want to get involved with that. Master of Disaster said, tomorrow's my birthday. Big up, enjoy your birthday. Quality picture that R9 with them boots, man. Listen, people, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate your support. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel as always. And I will see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.